What's good, YouTube? You already know what it is. It's the Unlucky Bros Incorporated. I'm Triple Lynn, and I'm here for a Zorga deck profile. Yesterday, or I think yesterday, at the time of this video, we had did a sneak peek preview opening of OverDress, and I felt like I had enough to make the Zorga deck. So let's get that little profile in real quick. So for the ride deck, I play the Dream Nimbling, which is just a starter. I play Rancer Chain, which its Vanguard ability is Soul Blast 1, draw 2 cards, choose order in your hand, discard it, and if you do not discard, choose 2 cards in your hand and discard them. So it just makes it to where you can't. Plus, if you can't get rid of the orders. Black Tier Hush Dragon. When this unit is placed on V, choose up to one of your normal orders in the drop zone, put it in your hand. It's interesting how they say normal orders, so they make it to where you can't use the Bliss orders, which makes sense. And then Mysterious Rain, Spiritualist Zorga herself. When you would play a normal order, you could bind it and give the other order that effect on the back. So you can use Alchemagic, makes it to where you can use 2 orders a turn. One from hand and the drop. And then its other ability is Act on V ability. Once per turn, you can counterblast 1, choose a card in your drop zone, and call it. So very grand, bluish. I really like it. So let's get into the deck. In the regular deck, I play 2 Zorga. I didn't pull a third one, but at the same time, I feel like 2's fine. I feel like you don't have to play 4 of a lot of cards nowadays. I understand you want to do the whole, Persona Rod and stuff, but this deck's Persona Rod is not mandatory. So I feel like 2 is fine. You could put the third one in if you want. Well, the 4th one technically. If you want to put the 4th one in, you can, but I think 2 is a good number. This is not a deck that needs the Persona Rod to get skills off, so I only play the 2. Last is the grade 3s. I play 2 Hydraulic Ram Dragon. I like this card because it gets +5. If your bind zone has an order card, so you're binding a lot of you're gonna be binding a lot of your order cards for Alchemagic, so really good. You can call it back with cards and stuff like that. On to the grade 2s. I play 3 Spring Maiden the Lane. See that SP? Yeah. When this unit is placed on R from hand, you can counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose a grade 2 or less from your drop zone, call it to R, and it gets +5. It's literally there for that. You got to be careful with this because you don't want to waste too much soul. There is ways to get soul, but this is really good if you need another extra card from the drop zone. I play 3 Inheritance Maiden Hindrana. When this unit is placed on R, you may discard 3 cards at the top of your deck. That's really good if you need to filter. You get some of those order cards in there, or if you need to get some units in there. On its act ability is retire this unit to the end of this turn. Next time you would Alchemagic in order and play it, you may choose not to pay all of that cost Soul Blast. So this card would make it to where you don't have to slope Soul Blast for certain effects, so you can't use your soul. It just depends. You got to be careful with it. But this card's really good because a lot of the Alchemagic, you don't want to waste too much soul with some of them orders. So really like that card. Played at 3. 2 Black Tier Hush Dragon. You already have the one in your ride deck, so you're gonna get his V effect. Its R effect is if you use the order this turn, it gets +5. You're usually gonna use you're gonna use an order a turn. So this is really good for the +5. You could call it back from drop. It goes with the aesthetic. 2 Rancor Chain, same thing as the other one. It gets power if you use an order card. It goes with the aesthetic of the deck. I play 2 Conspiring Mutant Adamant. It gets when it's placed on R, you can choose a unit and it gets +5. You have units that can call. You have cards that can call this card back from the drop zone. You can just play it, stuff like that. So giving that extra +5 is good. Try to hit some numbers. 4 of the new Perfect Guard. Good to get these Perfect Guards because these ones, if your hand is down to like this and another card, you can just drop this. Since you only have one card, you don't have to discard the Perfect Guard. So get these new Perfect Guards. On to our order cards. I play 2 Grief, Despair, and Rejection. Play this with a counterblast. If your Vanguard is Zorga, you can choose 3 units and give it plus 10,000 to that in turn. Really like that, just for power. And then the next order, play this card with a Soul Blast 2. Look at 4 cards at the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 unit, a card among them. Call it to R and discard the rest. If they're in Alchemy Magic, so if you use this with Alchemy Magic, you can call 2 cards instead, and then they get +5 into the end of this turn. This is a really good card. You got to be careful with this because I was play testing this and stuff like that, and I hit the over trigger like both times. So you got to be careful with this card because you can't hit that over trigger. But it's kind of like Grand Blue, where like if you drop stuff in gravy, you drop stuff. Sometimes you're gonna drop triggers, so just kind of be careful. Yikes! I'm dropping cards. I played 3. Tearful Malice. Play this card by retiring 2 regards. Draw a card and put this card into the soul and countercharge. This is your counter chargers. This is really good. You're trying to draw a card. If you have the ways to bring cards back, then this is not really. You're not really losing out pretty much because once you're getting a counter charge, you're getting a draw, and you're getting soul. So you're not really losing out, kinda. So I really like this card. Play that 2. Play that 3. Then the last of the order cards, I play 3. Spiritual Body Condensation. Play this card by Soul Blasting 1. Choose a card with a grade equal to or less than the Vanguard. From drop zone, call it to R, and then use +5. This is really good. Lets you get some, like I said, lets you get units from the drop. Give them 5. Use it with Alchemy Magic and combine them with some stuff, and you can get a good old feel going. All right, but now on to our triggers. Now to my triggers. 4 crit. Yeah, I got an SP of this. That's kind of cool. 4 crit, 4 fronts, the over trigger, if it wants to focus there, they got a little bit of a glare. If there's the Stoic KO over trigger, this over trigger does a lot. It does a lot. If you actually hit this during a game, it just does so much. The fact that you get another draw is literally every trigger. Get a draw, choose a unit, give it a crit. Everything in the front row gets 10, and if you're damaged, and they say you got I heard this card got an errata. So if it's like a regular heal trigger. If you're higher or equal to your opponent, you can heal it. So this one does everything. 3 draw. I decided to do the 4 crit, the 4 front, the 3 draw, because the over trigger is basically a draw trigger. Technically, if you drive check the over trigger, the over trigger is 2 draw triggers because you draw for its over trigger effect and you draw for its regular effect. So its additional effect. So I only play the 3 draw on that. So and then 4 heal. I had to take this out of my trial deck because I didn't pull another her. So 4 heal. So it's pretty much like that's pretty standard. Or what does they call it? The rainbow trigger lineup. But that's my Zorga deck. Like I said, with OverDress not being so like, it's not like being the old Vanguard where you have to play 4 copies of cards just because you wanted to see them when you needed a ride. With OverDress having that ride deck, you could practically build your deck any way you want to now. So and I know a lot of people probably already knew that, but it's just that to me is so wild because now it's like, oh, I don't have to play 4 of this one card because I need to ride it. It's in my ride deck. I'm good. So now I could just substitute that card out for anything. I love OverDress, dog. Because it's this, I think deck building is going to be twice as fun as it's ever been in Vanguard. In Vanguard history, I feel like OverDress is just going to be so fun when it comes to deck. Because everyone's deck feel like it might be different. Because you're going to see people that's playing 4 of this in a deck. You're going to see people that's playing only 2 of this in a deck. You're going to see people playing 3 of this in a deck. You're going to see people play cards that you would never think to put in your deck just because you have leverage now. And I think that's crazy. But let me stop riding bushy. But that's going to be the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment for if you want to see more deck profiles. I'm going to be bringing more. You want to see some matches. You want to see some more pack openings. But that's going to be the end of the video. That's the end of my turn. Peace.